Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Hola bandidos, ¿cómo estamos? Not sure when exactly this is starting to record, so I'm just going to go for it. This is a live. Welcome to Mel's Magic Official. I'm Magic Mel. This is my angel, and I baptized him Charles. Don't ask me why. I had to give him some name because otherwise, angel's a bit like just generic. Welcome to my show. It is episode 15, if I'm not mistaken, of season 9. And I decided to go live just to switch things up a bit. I like to innovate. I like to grow. I like to expand. I like to try out new things. So whether someone is catching me live or not, I'm just in a kind of pensive mode. I've been editing an interview with a friend, and there's so many pearls of wisdom in that conversation. I'm being inspired. And there's one particular point which had to do with one of the points was where we put our attention. That nowadays the most precious thing we can give to a thing or a person or a vision or a project is our time and our attention. Where we put our attention, that's where the energy flows. And in this day and age where we are being distracted and pulled in all kinds of directions, it is a feat to streamline our attention with our focus, with our vision, with our words and actions, beliefs, behaviors into what we want to create. It's one thing also that can really help us regulate our mood and mindset and self-concept, where we focus our attention in our daily lives. You know, we always have a choice. It doesn't have to be this grandiose thing. It's this moment to moment choice. When something goes wrong or something unexpected happens, do we focus our attention on what is going wrong? Do we go into tunnel vision? Tunnel vision has very much to do with survival mode. We kind of narrow our focal point and zoom in to the problem or the threat. And do we look into the negative and what is going wrong and why it's going wrong? Or do we expand, i.e., come into horizontal vision, open our perceptual field, try and see the bigger picture, and reframe in the moment, telling ourselves, hey, all is well. Louis Hay, all is well. Everything that's happening to me is happening for a reason, and I trust that it is in my highest, even though I may not be able to see that higher purpose in the moment. Because the universe doesn't dish out the entire plan in one go, like one red carpet stream of, there we go, this is your entire life, your purpose all set out, and I'm allowing you to see everything in one go. No, step by step. It requires faith and trust in each step, trusting our intuition, even though sometimes we don't even know why we feel in a certain way or why we're being called in a certain direction in the moment. But going back to focusing and choosing where we put our attention, we have a negativity bias as human beings, and that comes from a mechanism that tries to keep us safe and looks out for threats. So rather than focusing on automatically what is going well and what is working, what there is in our lives, we tend to focus on the negative, what is not working. We like to complain, to bond with other people in victim mode. And we have to be conscious about that. Because in any given situation, and there are some really extreme examples of people who were in prison and still managed to focus on the good. Is it Nelson Mandela spent so much time in prison, but he himself said that it forged his character. I mean, any situation can, in that extreme case, can destroy us or it can build us up. But let's pull it back to just day-to-day nuisances. You know, the car breaks down or the bank account gets blocked. I mean, all kinds of stuff can happen all the time. How do we face those situations? How long do we dwell in the negative? I'm not saying to override your negative feelings. That would be toxic positivism. Toxic positivity. Positivism is also toxic for me. But it's to, yes, feel those feelings, let them go, and then realign, recalibrate. Because the longer we stay in a certain state, the longer we emit a certain signal into the quantum field as a vibration, as an electromagnetic vibration. And by signaling that out, we're going to attract more stuff of similar vibration. So if we are signaling to the universe, distress, panic, fear, I don't want this, the universe is going to say, okay, because the universe always says, yes, okay, I'm going to give you more of what you don't want. I'm going to give you more resistance. So this act of self-reflection is a constant moment-to-moment process. How do we use our attention? How much attention do we give to an unwanted situation until we switch to what is wanted? Because even the non-wanted stuff, the so-called contrast, serves us because it shows us what doesn't feel good, what we don't like, what we don't want. The issue is, though, not to focus too long, because in this binary universe, the longer we focus on something, even if it's something that we don't want, our attention is still there, so it will magnify, it will replicate it. The universe is going to reflect more of that into our experience. So where do we put our attention? I'm bringing this all up because I had a conversation. I'm going to edit the video interview with a friend of mine who works in the climate sector. There's so much happening in the world where we're fighting against things, no? And one thing is to recognize and be conscious of the real issues, the darkness in the world, and to solve problems, but to be careful with the word problem also. Again, it comes back to the notion of fighting against something or taking our attention off that something and putting our attention into what we do want to create, into what is wanted, into new solutions, rather than fighting against the old. Because our attention will feed that. Our attention will channel our energy into that. So what choice are you making in your daily life? Are you, let's bring it back to right here, right now, are you focusing on what is working in your life? On what you can be grateful for? Because that alone, you know that gratitude changes your vibration. Gratitude basically is a receptive state where you're telling the universe, I like this, thank you, I want more of this. And the universe is like, okay, the universe always says yes, okay, you like this, I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more of this and more of this and more of that. And gratitude puts us in a state of grace. It's all linked. Can we switch our perspective? Can we put our attention into how we want to feel? Can we transmute emotions, accept them, and then focus our mind on thoughts, even visions and images in our mind that bring to life or bring to imagination what we want in our lives? I feel there's so many of us who have done a lot of healing work, who have gotten to know ourselves, and we're not ready to create something new. Like, we're aware of what is not working, and we're ready to shift, literally shift paradigm. And that essential question of where are we putting our energy and our attention is very important here. Are we focusing on the solutions, on the possibilities, or are we being crushed and disempowered by the problems and the enormity of what is to come, or the uncertainty? Are we crushed by our fear, or are we ignited by our excitement for what is possible? So I just wanted to share these reflections. Maybe I should pull a card here. Let's pull a card. I'm going to make more of these lives to give you guys a chance to, if you catch me on here, to connect with me. There's a chat box where you can write down your comments or interact with me, ask questions. So let's see, on this note of creating what we want to manifest in our lives, what do the witches have to say in this context? Should we ask a question? Trying to figure out the right question here. How can we best, what energy best serves us in shifting our attention from what is not wanted to what is wanted? Keep it open-ended. Thank you so much, dear witches. I'm putting you to use these past few videos, but I like them. They're kind of a blend between the normal Rider-Waite deck and the Wild Unknown Animal deck in terms of literalness of the imagery and enigmaticness. So what do you have to say in terms of this transition between worlds? We pulled that oracle card yesterday. Between worlds, shifting paradigms, shifting our attention. It's not like necessarily that we need to go anywhere either. The new earth is already here. We just need to kind of attune to it in terms of our frequency. Tune into it, like a radio station. If you're set on the station of the old paradigm, that's what you get. If you shift your attention to a new paradigm, that's what you get. It's like a radio station. And in between, there's a bit of, what do you call it? White noise or this sound as we're stepping back and forth, dancing between letting go and opening up to the new, which is another point I want to make at some point or discuss at some point. We gotta let go of what doesn't serve us anymore in the now and open up space for the universe to come in and show us what a more aligned purpose, direction, way of being is. And that goes hand in hand with surrendering, letting go and surrendering into the new. Because it's not anymore about constructing through the mind and the willpower, our own will only. It's really about surrendering and opening up to a bigger purpose that is driven by the higher powers. If you don't trust, you're not able to surrender. You will try and cling and control and resist. And even that's okay. It's a process. But as the frequency of the planet rises, holding on to a rock while, imagine like the water level going up. You're hanging on to this rock. You're gonna like drown in there. You're gonna float up with the energy. So what energy is aiding us in this? Oops. Oh, wow. It's crazy. Can't be a better card, I swear. The energy that's aiding us is the Wheel of Fortune herself. The Wheel of Fortune, we are rolling into a new energy. The Wheel of Fortune is up. We're riding the wave in October. Balance. It's a lucky wave. I mentioned to you that it's an ideal time to let go of old habits because the environmental energy is aiding us, is supporting us, is encouraging us in that process. And luck is on your side. Basically, imagine this like nice, blissful wave of energy coming in. All we need to do is ride it. Let go of the baggage and ride it. And let that wave, let the Wheel of Fortune show the way forward. Follow the synchronicities. Follow your internal nudgings. Our purpose in the moment is to trust and surrender and follow the internal nudging. And that's individual to all of us. Your purpose in the moment looks completely different to mine because you have a different purpose. We all have a different purpose here. It doesn't have to be this grandiose thing like, okay, change the world, be a public speaker, whatever. I mean, please do if you feel like that. But in the moment, if you're really present, I had that situation yesterday where I came back from a walk in the dark. It was already dark. It's getting darker now, quicker. And I saw a figure in, up the road, and it was I saw a motorbike park and then this figure up in the road, and I was like squinting to see what it is, and I saw this man in the dark, in the dark, kind of panting and coming towards me. My instinct was fear. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? And I said, hello, hello, and then he said, oh, hello, hello. My bike broke down, and my bike is down there. I said, yes, I saw it, but then I kind of continued walking because I was a bit like, well, I'm kind of alone in the dark. And I passed him by, and then I stopped. And I just checked in with myself. I said, that was fear. And I just stopped and checked in with my body. Remember, I'm trying to flow. So I got to be embodied. I need to be connected with my present body, my breath in the moment. And my nudging was offered to help. So I went back around the corner. I said, hey, do you need some help pushing up that bike? Because those bikes are like all smooth and easy to ride when you're on the road, but then once that thing is stopped, I had it once, like the bike, once it's stopped and falls over, it's bloody heavy, that thing. Hey, one viewer. Hey, welcome. So I said, hey, do you need any help? And he said, yes, mate. I think it was from England, somewhere in the Midlands in England. He said, yes, mate. I'm like, okay, I'll push the bike from the back and you can, steer it. So I kind of pushed it up and both like panting up this hill. And he thanked me afterwards, and he was like, what's your name, by the way? And I said, Magic Bell. He's like, okay, that's one to remember. His name was Chris. All to say that my purpose in that moment was to just help that person. That was my instinct. So the question is, do you choose to follow that? Are you connected enough to follow that calling in the moment? It can be the most random things. You might be the guardian angel in person for someone, if you're connected enough and present in the moment. And going back to the whole notion of attention, I could have focused on this fear-based thought, oh my God, maybe he's going to attack me. But obviously I'm not saying put yourself in danger, use your common sense as well. But I really, I passed him and I checked in with myself and I said, this person needs help. I'm going to offer my help at least. That can be your calling, and that is a way of just checking, where is our attention going? Is it steering towards fear? And I'm not saying fear is not useful. Fear obviously always tries to protect us. But the question is, it's a difficult process, very personal. Are you coming from fear, or is the present moment requiring something else from you? That's something you need to discern. And we spoke about discernment. It's something, discernment really anchors you in your own truth. Because when it comes down to making tough decisions, guys, you can outsource, you can maybe ask people. I used to do that so much in the past, for advice and their input and this and that, but you probably just end up being totally confused. If you're not able to discern, use your own balancing of intuition, instinct, wisdom, intellect to make your own decision, then it's difficult. So I always encourage you, here at Mass Magic Official, I always tell you, hey, I encourage you to trust yourself, and it's a process, it's an ongoing process. Whew, I'm going off the rails here. In any case, the Wheel of Fortune is here to encourage us forward, to guide us, push us forward in this momentum of balancing our energies, of being very self-aware of where we put our attention and where we put our energy, to propel us into alignment, to propel us into, ascension. That word has been, Google, hello. That word is being thrown around a lot too, ascension. It's all about just coming home to ourselves. And yes, the frequency of the planet is shifting. That is true. How far we're going, I don't know. But just bring it back to right here in the moment. What choices are you making? Where are you putting your attention? What are you focusing on? What voice, internal voice, are you trusting? What are you following? Are you following your intuition, your internal nudging? Just know that by following that nudging in the moment, you are on purpose. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it at that. Don't want to be all crazy and large video. This is live. If you have any questions, I want to make a comment now, because I'm going to close this video off. Oh, there is. Oh, Reedy. Reedy, is that you? Sorry, I just saw the chat. Yes, first time on channel. Welcome. Sure, ask me a question. Come on. Ask me a question, Rudy. Where are you tuning in from? I have a question for you. Where are you connecting from? Can you hear me? Got a few more minutes. And then I gotta close this video. If you want, you can ask your question and then I'll answer it in the next video. Or if you're still around, oh, there you are. Oh, that's a very, you're from India. I actually don't do this kind of predictive, these kind of questions right here. I'm more like catering to questions regarding to the topics I'm talking about, but you can message me. And if you want a private reading, I can do a private reading for you. Okay, Rudy from India? I'm so happy you're here. Somebody checked in here for my live session on the 3rd of October. Okay, Rudy? Contact me for a private reading. Remember, the Wheel of Fortune is on your side. And to answer your question, Wheel of Fortune is on your side. Trust yourself. Check in with yourself. Where's your energy pulling you? Is it a yes for that situation? I got to plug in my computer. Oops. Or is it a no? Trust also yourself. Yeah? So really, I'm gonna log off from here. I'm so happy you were here. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna have more live sessions here where you can connect like really directly with me and interact with the session going on here. Okay? So, saludos, bandidos. Really, I'm sending you lots of love to India. And stay focused on what you want to create because the luck is on your side. We're swimming in good energy, guys. Ciao, bandidos. Ciao.